Hello and welcome to the fifth, final and decisive game in a best of five. This is a best of five set between Stephen and Toblerone. This set is part of the Sunbros 1v1 tournament with the special rule of no crates. If you didn't know that already, go and watch some of the other villagers. Go and watch some of the other videos. Gosh, I know what I'm saying. I haven't just recorded 5 casts back to back. We have got Stefan spawning in with the Ottomans in blue. Boo, cursed game. Ottomans not in red. We hate to see it. And we've got Toblerone playing as the Portuguese. The map is, of course, Saxony. I don't know, for me there's something about Portuguese on Saxony. I think I've just had some bad experiences in quick search because I don't know, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm feeling like Portuguese on Saxony, they're gonna plonk down their second town centre here, nice and defensive. They're gonna plonk down their third town centre somewhere like here. They're gonna play it really aggressive. They're gonna do the FF. They're gonna bring out those organ guns and back it up with Cass, and I just don't want anything to do with that. I think it's going to be a bad time. But the Ottomans are, by all accounts, one of the strongest civs around. I haven't seen either of these civs played yet so far in the set. So, yeah, no idea what to expect in terms of strategies, but we do know that both of these players love to play it aggressive, play it hard and fast, especially in Age 2. Although you would probably expect Portugal to try and pull off an FF here. So my kind of Occam's razor style prediction is we're going to see some classic Ottoman Age 2, and we're going to see a classic Portuguese FF. And the deck certainly seems to reflect that. Look at that deck. Interestingly, ATP in there, and Navigator being used as the first card. Of course, Portugal don't have 3 villagers as their first card. So in the no crates format, it's kind of interesting to think about what you do with that. But the answer from Toblerone is going to be Navigator, which gives you that dog, as well as the 50% buff on the Explorer. We should also just take a moment to comment as well. Ottomans without resource crates. It's such a weird deck to look at. Look at this. No crates, but they're Ottomans. What's going on? So we've got room for eco theory. We've obviously got 5 villagers, and then all of the unit shipments that you can get, Assaps, Janissaries, and Delis in Age 2. No Abascun shipment in Age 2. There is an Abascun shipment in Age 3, but they've chosen not to include it. We've also got the Fanar allies. That's your skirmisher option, 500 coin, but resendable, and Tengri allies. So I think the Ottoman probably needs to take advantage of these shipments to really put the pressure on in H2, if that's what they're trying to do. We could be looking at Ottoman trying to do a sort of like cratesless FF. I mean, to be fair, Portugal needs to do a cratesless FF, which is going to be a bit slow. It's not something you would typically expect from them, but maybe it'll work out well in this situation. We don't know. We'll have to find out. Some smouldering embers here of a abandoned trade post, but we're going to have another go at it. They really were very on fire. And we see Toblerone is the first up to Age 2. Choosing to put down that town centre, super defensive, actually behind the first one. I wouldn't have put money on that. So, yeah, Toblerone really not asserting any sort of claim over this space at the front here, despite having 2 trade posts. It's kind of interesting. You'd think maybe would want to defend those a little bit. But this town centre does provide coverage of 2 whole hunts, which is really, really useful for Portugal in terms of getting their very uniquely tempoed economy going with those double TC villager production. Though speaking of villager production, has actually not got any units in training at the moment. Might want to have a look at that. We'll just pause so that we can catch up with what the Ottomans have done. So I'm guessing that was an age up with the mosque wagon. No, because they would have an imam if they did that. So I think aged up with 400 wood and has invested that immediately in a load of houses. The mosque, possibly market techs as well, and the market. We've got 7 ASAPs out from that home city shipment, and we're going to have 5 Jans out any second now. In terms of resource gathering, quite a lot of gold being gathered, especially for, the only thing Ottomans need gold for at the barracks is the Janissaries, and they don't need that much, only 25 a pop. So I wonder if we are kind of half committed to saving up for one of these paid shipments. Going for 5 villagers, no. Switching it over to 3 dells as this third shipment. So you're going to have all of their standard unit shipments out on the map nice and early. Also going to have 2 batches of trained Janissaries. So that's quite a significant force. Now, we see Portugal. Oh my gosh, let's have a look at Portugal. They certainly are expecting it. We've got 2 outposts down. I'm going to suspect that that's a 2 outpost shipment, especially since nothing else is lit. Everything else is still illuminated on this line. Sending it again, so going to have 4 outposts potentially by the time these Ottomans arrive at the gates. That is quite a serious chunk of defences. I think that's probably enough to scare off this Ottoman army, although it'd be interesting to see. And I think crucial to see what Stephen chooses to do when they spot these outposts. I assume they have not seen anything yet. Nope. We're going to take down this advanced trading post, absorb a little bit of damage from its attack, but I don't think it even manages to kill 1 Janissary because it's not that much attack, and the Janissaries are very strong. So yeah, it's 4 outposts now. Let's just follow Stephen's perspective as they discover this situation here, because I think it's going to be very interesting how they respond to it. They're sitting on 50 out of 50 population, potentially got enough resources to save up a bit for one of these merc shipments, but not quite there yet. About to earn another shipment as well. And here we go, sending the army in. Seen 2 outposts, seen a barracks, seen a town centre, seen 2 more outposts under construction, and the Delhis immediately go for that back one, which is really, really good. Unfortunately, not quick enough to deny it, but they do get a few very good value hits on theirs, especially since the Delhis aren't really good siege units. You get a big bonus against buildings that are unfinished. All units do. Portuguese explorer coming in to just contribute to the defense. The barracks is down, and Stephen decides that's enough damage for the Ottoman. Could notice that there's still another trade post out there and go looking for that. I think can pretty much deduce that it's going to be the 4th one over here in this corner. But yeah, doesn't want to commit that army underneath four towers and obviously a town centre. Did they spot that the 2nd town centre is nearby? Yeah, they did as well. So knows that both town centres are effectively covered by those outposts. Sneaking around the back, it's not really going to pay many dividends. Even if you might be able to get some siege on at the back one. Although, maybe I jinxed it, because yeah, this looks like a commitment. I think it's a pretty questionable commitment. 2 more outpost wagons. Toblerone is making sure that this isn't going to work out. Interestingly, because of all these outposts, didn't feel the need to. Oh no, has garrisoned. Let's check on. Yeah, so Portugal fully idled at the moment, but back out again now. Chopping more wood, so we're going to see even more defences. Maybe it's just for this barracks at the back of the base. Interestingly, Portugal making no progress so far whatsoever, and they haven't got the resource shipments to bail them out. On no progress whatsoever on getting to the 3rd age here. So they are kind of committed to sitting this one out. And I think it's going to be a bit of a scary wait for Portugal. A big question now for Ottomans is what are they going to do? They could think about one of these mercenary shipments, but neither of them are really siege units. So it's not much use unless Portugal decide to start mixing in some military, probably some heavy infantry. Could think about going to fortress. I think with an overview, that's the best move, because I think you'll beat the Portuguese player to fortress right now, considering how invested they are in these defences. And then you can try and face them with your falconets, and hopefully you've got Sfahi in the deck, yes. So that's looking good. But that's me talking with the benefit of 2020 vision. What we've got the Ottoman player actually doing here is going for the Humbrachi, and that is, to be fair, quite a fun choice. So these Humbrachi, they are the unique Ottoman grenadiers. They have 50 siege, and they have a little bit of extra range on their siege, which means that you can sort of pack them around the base of a building a bit more efficiently. They're coming in here, and interestingly, they're choosing to go for the houses. So not thinking about these outposts. I think that's another... So that's the 4th outpost shipment for the 8th outpost. One of that getting denied, but I think Portugal still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the field. More Humbrachi coming in. They are really expensive, but got 30 range resist. They've got a lot of siege. It's going to be hard for these outposts to kill them. It is pretty hard to kill Humbrachi. I mean, your best bet is cavalry by a long way, because they have an absolutely dire multiplier against cavalry. Minutemen also will do a great job, because the Humbrachi are tagged as that weird class siege trooper. And that is exactly what the Minutemen can do well against. Or siege unit, rather. Someone, write a 20-question exam on the difference between siege unit and siege trooper and send it out to all the casters. They won't do any better than me, let me tell you that. But yeah, the Minutemen appropriately feared. Portugal can, of course, summon up another batch of Minutemen from the other town centre at a time of their choosing. But really, they have a bit of a problem here, because these grenadiers are now starting to work their way through the outposts. You kind of feel like Ottoman has got enough here. Have got the momentum, can add units back in more quickly than Portugal can take them down with the towers. Minutemen coming in, scare off the Humbrachi. This time the Minutemen don't commit, which is probably a good idea, since they won't have a third opportunity to send them. I mean, could do if they sent the town militia card, which I think is pretty advisable in this situation. But the 7 cannoneers isn't bad either. Actually, kind of notable that the 7 cannoneers take 60 seconds to arrive, because they're mercenaries, rather than your normal 40. So that could actually make a difference here. Yeah, because look, the Ottoman units are coming back. Town militia would have arrived by now. Look at that. But yeah, it's just the Minutemen on their own. Gonna get... Oh, that's unfortunate. Gonna get pretty much knocked out by the Janissaries. Not much done. Not much fear put into these Humbrachi. Now the Cannoneers are out at the back. They take a nice volley, but then look at that. They're having all of them two-shot Humbrachi. These are strong, strong units. They actually do have siege resist, so they're particularly good at taking fire from the Cannoneers, which is kind of hilarious. Incredible interaction between the unit classes there. Portugal desperately wants some cavalry to deal with the Humbrachi, but obviously Ottoman, they just need to mix in a handful of Janissaries who don't have bad siege either. and that threat will be neutralized. Really what Portugal need to do is you know, play this like an out-and-out Age 2 or manage to escape to Age 3. They are actually getting close now resource-wise. Ottoman not saving up at all, fully committed to the aggressive here. House getting sieged down, that won't matter too much to the Portuguese. They're not really trying to train anything here, they're just focused on getting up to that age up if they possibly can. Villagers out, not getting attacked at the moment. Ottoman choosing to focus on the town centre. I still think there's a interesting, the Humbraci committing to taking on the cannoneers. I wonder if Stefan has like figured out this interaction that the Humbraci have the siege resistance and the cannoneers kind of uniquely do siege damage. So it all works out very well for them. Portugal lost a town centre. Can still survive, can still age up with one town centre. Using the market to make a trade, I think that's long overdue, to be honest. Could potentially have been aging up at least 20 seconds earlier with a good switch swoo on that town centre. Now going up with the XR Prince, that's going to mean no material reward for the age up. It's all Humbraci at this stage. Oh, 5 Huss would clear this up, maybe 8. But 5 Huss are just not available to Portugal unless they get a lot of wood for a stable and then a lot of resources for some Huss. I'm not sure about this XR Prince age up. I get that you're feeling the pressure. You're worried about losing your TC during the age up, but you've got to think, like, wouldn't it be nice to have some units? Wouldn't it be nice to have a reward from your age up right now? Portugal evacing that town centre. Gonna try and use distance to buy them some time. Villagers walking back to the demolished second town centre, and I think that's enough. Toblerone is defeated. Goes down very valiantly, 3-2 in that set. 5 games, well, 4 that we saw, all absolutely full of aggression. Not always spelling victory for the most aggressive player, though, which is quite interesting. So we saw a good mix of kind of good attacking play and good defensive play. That final game, I don't know. I wonder if maybe, like, I liked Portugal's initial play, but I wonder if maybe after the fourth outpost was down, we wanted to switch to something else. Maybe mix in some bows or some sort of eco card, something to try and get you up to age 3 a little bit earlier, because that's, you know, that's where all the good stuff was sitting. But anyway, what do I know? What I do know is that Stefan, with a scoreline of 3-2, is the winner of this set and progresses to the quarterfinals of the No Craze tournament. And that is all for today. So thank you very much for joining me, and goodbye.